Hello everybody, and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Kendall Farm. This map can be found in the in-game mod hub, or it could be found over at farmingsimulator.com in the mod hub section of the website. This is a beta map, which means it's been released for PC or Mac only. This is a quaint, nice little farm set in what I believe is England. This map has a total of 19 fields, 3 of which are planted in crops, and the rest of them are grass meadows. You will have 3 farmyards, 1 arable farm, 1 cow farm, and 1 sheep farm. Now, one thing to note on this map is if you go to the animal dealer, you can buy pigs, but there are no pigs on the map. So don't go and purchase pigs because you will waste your money. The description on the farmingsimulator.com website goes on to say that there are tip collisions in some of the barns, and you have to muck out your own cattle shed to keep them clean. So let's go ahead and jump on in and take a look at this map. So unlike other videos, we will not be picking the John Deere Gator. This map is small enough that we don't need to pick that up. So as you can see, we've got a clean log, and we've got quite the list of starting equipment based on the log. We also happen to have gold nuggets on this map. So as soon as you start your career start point, you can pick up 4 nuggets, and then you'll find plenty of nuggets all over the main farmyard to get your 10. I'm going to actually try to avoid picking up the nuggets because with a map this size, 100 nuggets will literally cover a fairly big portion of the map with the little dots, and then we won't really be able to see where we are. So let's take a look at the map in general. So here we are. We have 19 fields, and this particular PDA has lots of little circles kind of to give you identification as to where things are. There are no animal icons, so you do not see this is the cow area, this is the sheep area, but you see that there are no particular animal icons being displayed. So this map has our standard fruit types, or crop types, and you start owning fields 1, 2, 6, 10, and 13. Of that field, only field 1 is able to be planted in a crop without having to first plow. So if you wanted to plant crops, you would need to plow field 6, 2, 13, and 10. You could purchase field 5 or purchase field 9, and there would be your 3 crops for just doing general crop work. So there's one main sell point on this map, and interestingly enough, even on hard mode, which is what we selected when we pulled the map up, we do start with some crops in our silo. And we have the spinnery, of course, because we do have sheep. Now there doesn't show prices for hay, straw, or grass, but there is a hay, straw, and grass sell point. This map does not have a BGA that I could find, so you will not be selling silage. So here's the list of our starting equipment. As you can see, most of it is fairly new, only 1 day old. But the truck is 97 days old, but it has very low operating hours, and that's really where your maintenance comes in. So you should have fairly low daily maintenance as you start this map. We're going to go ahead and take out some loans so we can buy some sheep and cattle as we get to those areas. And then we start out with 0 sheep. Again, there are pigs here, but there are no pigs on the map. If you buy pigs at the animal dealer, they're not going to spawn anywhere. And we start owning 25 cows. So we start out with 25 cattle, but there's nothing in the feed troughs or water trough. So if you were a animal-loving farmer, the first task would be to get some water and grass and whatnot in those troughs for your cattle. We do have nuggets, as we said, so we found 4. Our silo has a storage capacity of 400,000 liters, and we already have 9 eggs in our chicken coop. So let's put this down to real time and start taking a look at our starting equipment. So we start with 4 tractors that range in horsepower from 105 to 210 horsepower. We have our standard front loader arms, bucket, and fork. We also have a little front loader here. We have the small New Holland harvester with a grain header on our header trailer. A nice decent sized tipper, small cultivator and plow, and a small seeder. And then you have a liquid fertilizer spreader, some weights, a side mower, a bale trailer, a round baler, and your handy dandy pickup truck. So this is going to be a small map for small equipment. This could possibly be a great map to make use of your Coon DLC if you purchase that. So let's take a look around. There we have a nice balloon up in the sky. We also have birds that fly through, so we'll see birds, and then we also have an airplane that flies around. So here we have our tipper, and this is a seed refill point. There we have a nugget. Like I said, I'm going to avoid the nuggets simply because I don't want it covering up my map. So right here, off of the main house here, there's one of our birds, is the farm silo. So here you would have your tip and your fill point. There's another nugget right there. So like I said, they are all over the main farm here. So here's one of our equipment sheds. We have in here a weight, our seeder. We have lights in our buildings. And then we have our harvester, plow, and header. So this particular building houses our fuel point, a nugget down there, and we have here there's another nugget, and here we have our standard repair bay, our customization bay in this shed. There's another nugget. It's a nice little storage nook there. So here we have our fertilizer sprayer. We have some liquid and solid fertilizer over here. I believe these are seed pallets. I have the hardest time with seed pallets or dry fertilizer pallets. For some reason, the icons just throw me a loop. So here we have some additional tractors and your plow. And then here we have a fill point for both liquid and solid fertilizer. So interestingly enough, these gates are animated. You'll see they move. Okay, but they also do not have collisions. We can walk through the gates all day long. So if you're somebody, you can choose to either get out and open the gates and close them, or you could just walk on through or drive on through the gates. So this is one of the meadows that we own, and these are actual real silage bales. You'll see they're too heavy to pick up. So we start out with a fair bit of silage already in round bales for our cattle, since we do start out with 25 cows. Here's our nice bale trailer. Now one thing I did note on this map that I really liked is the water is such that it looks muddy. There's just the dirt texture underneath the water. Is that a little fish? Or is that... No, that's a reflection of the balloon. So the water looks rather muddy because it's the dirt texture and then the clear water over top. And I thought that was a nice, interesting part of the water. Usually it's nice and crisp and blue in color. So this is the arable part of the farm, or the arable farm. So let's get over here and we're just going to run down the road. Like I said, this is a very small and cozy little map. So here is field 9. It's 0.52 hectares, $41,000. We're going to check out field 5, which may be the largest field. Field 14 might be larger, but it's just a grass meadow. So let's run down here and check out the sell point. Okay, so here's our sell point for hay, straw, and grass, wool, and then here's our tip point for our crops. Okay, back here we had a sell point for logs, and then around the corner, around the corner somewhere, I've gotten to the animal buy point just by jumping around. I'm not really sure how you get there driving. I have to see. Oh, there's a road over here. Okay. So this is the animal buy point. We also have a water fill point here. And you'll go right here and buy your animals if you wanted to pick them up. And as you can see, if I wanted to, I could buy pigs. Okay. Yep, I bought my pigs. But you'll find when we start walking around the map, there are no pigs to be found. So don't buy pigs. In fact, let's check. I wonder if this even reflects that we have 10 pigs. It does reflect that we have 10 pigs, but you're not going to find it. This map has some static cows scattered around the map. We also have a nice animated little kitty cat, and we have some animated horses that we will discover on our little tour. All right, so let's run back over here and check out our extra yards section, which is how it's identified on the PDA with a circle. So this is basically extra storage, equipment storage area. Here we have one of our silos has fallen over, or we've just laid it off to the side. Here we have a little storage shed. Now, one thing that I found in here is these random gates, which do have collisions on them, really seem to ruin a possible little shed that you could maybe stash round bales or other things into. And something else that's interesting on this map is there are two little toolboxes that if you look at the F1 menu right now, it says configure or directly sell a vehicle. And this can be picked up, can be moved around. So this has been placed in the map. It is a mod by Farmer Andy. As you see, it says Farmer Andy's Toolbox. And this mod allows you to basically have a customization or repair point anywhere on the map. All you got to do is pick this up, put it in the back of your pickup truck, put it in the front bucket of your tractor, take it to wherever you need to be, and then you can do a customization. Just plop that close to wherever you need to customize and hit the R button. So there's one down here, and I think there's one over in the cow area that we'll find. So we have additional storage. Pretty much that's all we have here in this section of the map. Like I said, all of these gates pretty much are just have no collisions. There's a couple nuggets for those that want to do the nugget hunt. All right, so let's run on up here, get our morning jog out. There we have our nice flying bird. So overall, I think this is a really nice map. When I looked at it the first time, I started thinking about, this is kind of old streams size. This may be smaller than old streams, simply because old streams had a couple different sell points, and they had a couple little towns. There really isn't a town here on this map, but all the fields are nice and small, very easy for a single player. Here is a hay, straw, and grass sell point, and over here we have our animated horses. There's one of our horsies, and our second horsey's over here. Okay, so this is our hay, straw, and grass sell point. There you can see the sell trigger is under the shed, and then these horses, they're just static; they don't move. But it does add to a nice little bit of the environment here with respect to this being a kind of a horse farm for the sell point. And then down this road is our sheep area. So you see all of these roads are nice and narrow, or not necessarily nice, just narrow. So this is definitely not big bud country. I like how the map has this kind of grass or this dirt area kind of off to the side, so you can kind of swing out wide to come in. So we have some storage area over here and over here, and then this is our feed trough for our sheep. And now our chickens are over here, and all of the eggs will show up nicely lined up right here. That's great. Not running around trying to find eggs. There's a nugget. You're not trying to run around and find eggs in the grass, which has to be one of the least favorite things for me to do. Now your water trough for your sheep is over here, so you'll have to you can come down the road, come through this gate. Again, you can either choose to open it or just drive on through it, and to get to your water trough. And then your sheep buy point is back here, just inside the gate. So there's our sheep. Okay, make sure you close the gate on your way out. And then we have a nice water pond. Again, the water looks nice and dirty. I really like that aspect to this map. I can go on in here and get underneath the water. So you'll see now obviously the brick walls have collisions, but none of these hedges have collisions. So you could pretend to here we have another wonderful area where it's kind of so you can swing out wide and get your bale trailer in there. Great detail that is. So we said we were going to check out field 5. There we have another one of those for swinging out into there. There we have our airplane. So let's check out field 5 as far as size. So field 5 is 1.4 hectares, $116,000. There are no missions on this map. At least it says no missions available. And this map does have mud, as you can see. So let's head on over here to our cow farm. There, if we didn't know where we were going, we have now a nice little cow sign. We have one gate in here. And then the main entry point to our cow farm. Actually, I think the main entry is down here. Yeah, I would say this would be more of the main entry. And then our arable farm, where we started, is right down the street here. We're just going to run down here so I can show you. So this is where we started our tour. Right there's our truck, and there's our house, and you see, so the cattle aren't too far away from where we start. Here we have a nice nice kind of little junk part of the yard. There's a nugget. So here we have our baling equipment, nicely conveniently over here. And here is that second, oops, here is that second Farmer Andy toolbox I mentioned. So we would pick this up, run it over here, for example, drop it down, and now we can customize our tractor. Boom, now we have a different tractor. Toss it over there, and obviously we can't customize a tractor because we're not close to anything. So that's pretty cool. There's a nugget. So we have to we definitely have to muck out our cow area, but with respect to our slurry, I believe this slurry tank is just for show. This slurry tank has a slurry fill trigger on it. So this is where you're going to get your slurry if you wish to spread that on the fields. Again, there's no BGA on this map, so there's no selling slurry, there's no selling manure, there's no making silage for selling purposes. Alright, so here we have, just going to kind of walk through. Okay, so this is again kind of how you could swing around to get your slurry. So here we have our cow pasture. And here we have a gate. This is how you can get into it. There is a feed trough over here somewhere. Okay, so here's our grass trough, and then our water trough is down here. Okay, and then inside of here, this is kind of our little milking parlor. So here we have, you know, you would stand down in there, and then the cows would be lined up here. Notice a nugget. And over here, there's another nugget. And then you would put these obviously where they belong, and you would get your milk. Here's your milk tank, but there does not appear to be a milk fill trigger. That is for the light switch. So if you did want to do milk sale, you could put a milk fill trigger here. Another cool little thing on this map is these little what do you call little calf pins. Now I'm a little worried about these little calves because they already seem to have big old horns on them. But that's nice. I like that. There's another nugget, and then we've got some static cows, kind of giving some. There's another nugget, kind of giving some more ambiance to the whole area. There's another nugget. So I'm going to point out all the nuggets. Nobody will need to hunt them down. So here we have our cow shed. This is where you would come in and theoretically feed your silage or your mixed rations. Here would be, I believe this is where you're going to come in and put your straw. Okay. And then this would be where we would buy additional cows if we wished. Okay, and all of these gates open with a simple click of the mouse. Okay, so like I said, that's where you buy your cattle. This is, I believe, where you feed your mixed rations, and this is where you would put your straw. Okay, so that is the cow area. Oh, I did miss something here. So over here we have obviously some additional storage, but we have our this I think is not where your manure spawns, because the map author mentions that you'll have to muck out your own cattle sheds, but I think this is where you will be able to just dump your manure, maybe for storage. What I'm missing is over here, somewhere over here. I think this is it. No. There are 2 silage bunkers in here somewhere, and here's one of them. So here's one of our silage bunkers, and the other one should be kind of around. There's another nugget. Our other one should be right here around the corner. So we have 2 silage bunkers here for doing silage for your cattle. But again, there's no BGA, so that's the only place you're going to be putting your chaff or grass. Alright, so let's go up here, and the only thing up here is a water point and the store. I did want to check out Field 14's price for everybody. So Field 14 is smaller. It's only 0.87 hectares. So here we have our little town, basically just a couple houses, and our shop up here. So we'll notice this. We'll know this shop well from old streams. Anybody who's played old streams. It looks very much at home here at Kendall Farm. So before we go, I do want to buy one little thing. We'll just buy this small, we'll lease it. Okay, so that's where our equipment spawns, and I am going to reset that. Okay, let's reset that, and I'll show you where it pops back up. So it pops up here in the grass field 2. Okay, and that is our cow area, and our crop farm is right down here. So it spawns not at the main farm, but very, very near it, very near the main farm. So that, guys, is Kendall Farm. It's a nice, intimate little old map. Wonderful for someone who wants to play with small equipment. Not so good for the big bud guy. So stay away from this map, because I can only imagine the ludicrousness of trying to get the 450 around these things. But this is a nice, quaint little map for someone that wants to be able to harvest a field in 10 or 15 minutes without too much of a hassle. Really wants to focus on animals, sheep or cattle specifically. Or if you want to do crops, you're just going to have to plow up a bunch of fields in order to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And if you have a chance, check out the links to the other YouTubers in my description below. They are mostly members of the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. You can also check out that website. There's a link in my description. On that website, I will be posting exclusive videos once a week. These are exclusive early access videos that you can see before they release on the main YouTubes. And also, please check out the community PCSG. There's a great group of guys that are there, and gals that are there, that are pretty much into anything that's sim based. Farm sim, truck sim, what else we got? Flight sim, train sim. It just keeps going and going. So I encourage you to check them out also. So until next time, happy farming, y'all.